What is up YouTube? I'm Royal, I'm rank 1 Wild Rift, and today I'm bringing you a new series, God Tier. I will be giving you advanced guides on the strongest champions in the meta. Today we're gonna be doing Kha'Zix, and instead of watching my own Kha'Zix gameplay, we're actually gonna be watching the #1 Kha'Zix in the world. He's the #1 Kha'Zix in China, he's already Sovereign this season and Legend. So we're gonna be analyzing his build and his gameplay to hopefully teach you guys how to play Kha'Zix and jungle in general. So let's jump right into the build. So this is the build that he goes for most games. He starts off with the Glutinous Greaves Rush, which is pretty standard on Kha'Zix, and then he goes for the Duskblade and the Yomu's Ghostblade. A lot of Kha'Zix players go a little more tanky, however, he's going full damage. And full damage means full risk. You have to play so well to pull off this build. Even though you do an insane amount of damage, if you get caught out, you will get one shot. So he goes Duskblade, Yomu's, and then he gets some defense with Edge of Night, and then he goes more damage, Serpent's Fang. I've noticed that even if the enemies have very little shielding, he's still going Serpent's Fang, and I think that's because of the 15 armor penetration that it gives you. However, if the enemies have absolutely no shielding, I would recommend switching it out for a Cyrilda's Grudge. That's still gonna do an insane amount of damage. However, it's gonna be a little more useful if there's no shielding in the enemy team, since Serpent's Fangs won't be that useful. Obviously, never go Collector. Collector is not an item on Kha'Zix, he doesn't need the crit. Most of his damage comes from his first ability, right? For his runes, this is his common rune page. And here I would slightly disagree with him, to be honest. I think that you should be going Gathering Storm instead of Brutal. But he does want to have that strong early game, so I guess this is why he's going Brutal. And obviously for your summoners, you're gonna go Flash Smite. I've seen a few people try to Ghost Kha'Zix. Flash Smite is the way to go. Now let's jump right into the gameplay, where I'm gonna be giving you a larger guide while we analyze his gameplay. Let's jump straight into it. So he's playing in around Grandmaster Elo, even though he's personally Sovereign. He's actually ranked 21 in the entire Chinese server, which is incredible if you guys know how competitive the Chinese server is, especially in normal ranked, because normal ranked is full of 5 stacks dominating the ladder. So it's actually a really impressive rank. So let's see how he manages to consistently win games with Kha'Zix. Obviously, like I've said in many of my Kha'Zix videos in the past, the goal with Kha'Zix is to farm until your first ability, and then you can really dominate, but you should be focusing more on farming and assassinating. Not so much ganking, but assassinating. So he's gonna go ahead and award his blue buff, go back to base, and pick up a sweeper. This is a very common tactic that a lot of junglers do, especially in high elo in China. It's a little annoying and tedious to do it every game, however, it does help quite a bit. He's gonna start with his second ability, which is what you should start when you do Krugs as your first camp, and it seems like he'll probably be going for a full clear, no early game plays. So he's gonna start with his second ability on the Krugs, pick up his first ability the moment he gets level 2, so he can do his red buff as fast as possible. What I want you to notice is how well he's clearing his camps. He's already started the Raptors with his second ability as he's finishing off the red buff, so the Raptors can move closer to him. What I want you to notice is the speed, the clear speed. After this game, go into a practice tool game and try to clear it faster than him. I bet you will not be getting it on your first try. And he can consistently clear his jungle extremely fast, which gives him a massive advantage in the early game. It cannot be understated how big getting an early game advantage in the jungle like this is. And this is something that you can just practice from playing PvE, right? You're just clearing your jungle camp. You can practice this on practice tool and get really good at it. So I definitely recommend you guys do that with your own favorite champions. He's already finishing Skullcrab with the help of Janna at 142. And now he's gonna do his blue buff and then his Grump. He's doing the most efficient, fastest jungle clear in the least amount of time. He'll be finishing at like 205, 210 if he continues on this pace. Again, he's starting the Grump with his second ability so that it pulls out while he's finishing the blue buff, so he can be as fast as he can. And this is the typical jungle clear for Kha'Zix. Okay, he gets it at 210 exactly. He immediately bases. He actually walked into the bush with the Grump to base as efficiently as possible. And what's super interesting, and a quick little tip, he bases and then gets his first ability. So while he's waiting in the fountain to buy an item or to get back his HP, he's also upgrading his ability at the same time so he can be on the map faster. The efficiency on this Kha'Zix player is absolutely insane. Also notice how he's done 0 ganks. His whole goal was to get level 5, like I said on my previous video about the solo carry junglers. Your goal in Kha'Zix is to get level 5 immediately, so that now you can do insane damage. And now he's looking for invades. That's exactly how you should be playing Kha'Zix. He's doing super well. He's gonna go clear the red ward, and even though he can't find the enemy jungler at the Grump right away, he's gonna be taking away the enemy Grump. So he's denying like 150 gold from the enemy jungler and getting it for himself. And he actually waits for Fiddlesticks. Oh, no, he's actually getting collapsed. Yeah. Yeah, there's actually a bit of a mistake from him. And they're gonna trade 1 for 1. So this was a bit of a mistake from him. He overstayed his welcome in the jungle, and the enemy mid laner had prio on Kassadin, which is weird. So I think this is what he was confused about. Why does Kassadin have prio against Sion mid? So he didn't expect Kassadin to roam. He was waiting for Fiddlesticks to get the pick. So good play from the enemy team, but it's still decent for him. He doesn't get a kill, he gets an assist. And good roam from the Lulu too. It cannot be understated how good supports are in the Chinese server. Immediately roaming to the mid lane even though a play is happening on the other side of the map, just so she can be ready and help her team out. Now he's gonna immediately go back to full clearing. This is something that I stress on all my videos. I see a lot of my viewers constantly trying to gank in the early game. That's not how you play jungle in the early game. You want to be farming, you want to be getting all that free gold in your jungle camps, and then you can start ganking. 2 camps give more gold than a kill, right? So if you sacrifice 2 camps for a kill, you're even. You're not even winning. Sure, the enemies are going to be denied some resources while they're dead, but obviously going for a gank is always a risk. This is the safe, consistent way to always get gold. Sion mid is actually destroying the Kha'Zix. Oh, what? Kassadin is staying. I said the Kha'Zix, excuse me, I meant the Kassadin. Kassadin is staying and Sion mid is just going to dive him. He's actually waiting in the bush, hoping that Fiddlesticks is gonna come. Oh, he's going for the dive. Oh, and that's some insane Kha'Zix damage. He has no flash, but he's barely in range of his first ability. Great assassination. So you see how he's less focused on ganks and more focused on winning jungle. He's farming as much as he can, and then he's trying to mess with Fiddlesticks. Oh, he definitely needs his team support here, but Jax is very caught out. Yeah, I mean, his team is just so late, so late. Nasus and Sion are both pretty late on the Herald. I think Nasus did not have any priority. He was still clearing his minions. So Kha'Zix probably should have waited a little longer before going for this play. However, he seems to have gotten greedy. And now he's actually pinging his team. Now, he's pinging for Herald. That's the correct decision. We don't like dragons in this channel. And the top 1 Kha'Zix in the world agrees with me. We like Heralds. Heralds are way better. So when you have the advantage as a jungler, you should be looking to get a Herald. He's probably gonna immediately... he's probably not gonna use it mid because there's already so few platings mid lane. Kassadin was actually going for the steal. Sneaky Kassadin. He tried to hit the eye of the Herald. He jumps away from the Fiddlesticks ult. He goes to re-engage, but Fiddlesticks runs away. He actually has his... Dusk Blade right away, which is the first big power spike. I want to see what he does with his Herald, to be honest. Okay, so he evolves his wings second, so he can get some fancy jumps. I don't know if he's gonna use it mid, because mid already has lost a lot of plates. I think he's looking to use it bot. Now he's using it bot to get the max amount of gold he can from this Herald. And the mid lane turret will be eventually going down anyway. Kassadin can't really defend that against a Sion. Okay, Sion already got the turret, he just jumped in there. Great pick on the Fiddlesticks, and you can just see he's terrorizing the enemy jungler. She's going through 2 towers and farming the enemy jungler's camps. That is really good Kha'Zix gameplay. He's taking advantage of the insane 1v1 power of Kha'Zix. He definitely needs to base. He's being a little greedy here, I think. He has 3,000 gold, he definitely needs to base, but he's trying to take every single camp. Is he gonna stay for the red buff too? Okay, he's not that greedy. So before he bases, he's probably gonna do a quick little clear. The awesome thing about Kha'Zix is even without a lot of items, your clear is still really fast. As long as you're upgrading and you're putting points into your first ability, your clear is gonna be insane. So he doesn't need to go back, shop, and then get the camps. He can get the camps, go back, shop, and then the camps will respawn sooner, giving him even more gold. And you can already see he's so far ahead. I hope you click stab for a bit so we can see how much gold he has. So he gets both his Duskblade and his Youmuu's at 7 minutes and 45 seconds. He's got an insane lead for himself. And he died twice, keep in mind. It's not like things just worked out for him. It's him creating these opportunities and going for those aggressive plays. He's looking for casting, but he's not going to waste much time. He's going to immediately go to another camp. He's going to immediately invade Fiddlesticks because he sees him topside. So he knows he can be super aggressive here. Invisibility into the one-shot. And he jumps out. Very well played. Kassadin kind of made the mistake of using his ultimate, but you can't just not use your ultimate on Kassadin just in case Kha'Zix is somewhere, right? He also, keep in mind, he has the sweeper, so he constantly sweeps the enemy jungle so he can go for plays like these. Good 1v1 from the Nasus. Nice little double jump from the Kha'Zix to clean up. Nasus is actually going for Heartsteel. I don't know if I'm a fan of that. He's been so weak in the early game, and honestly, if you went something different, he would have been a lot more help to Kha'Zix, especially during the Herald play. However, he is going to be scaling. He's already outscaling the Jax. Nasus is actually a great counter to Jax. Your second ability just completely negates Jax as a champion. Because he has no attack speed, he can't really play the game. So now he's immediately going for Edge of Night. He actually bought Quicksilver, which is important to notice. Quicksilver is really good against the Kassadin silence, against the Jax stun, but the enemies don't have that much CC. I guess he also gets it for the Fiddlestick sphere, which can be a little scary. What is that damage? He one-shots a Sivir. Lulu's panicking all over the place. He's gonna now one-shot the Fiddlesticks. Kassadin is gonna clean him up. That was 3 clean assassinations from the best Kha'Zix in the world. Okay. So yeah, he's gonna continue building his Edge of Night, get a little more defensive here, which is a good idea. They're kind of struggling to do damage to this Jax. His team has so low damage without Vayne or Kha'Zix here, right? Because they have Sion mid, so they have 2 tanks and then an Enchanter. So if Vayne or Kha'Zix make a mistake, the damage output is gonna be decreased significantly. Oh, he's just standing AFK. There we go. So he's gonna go clear up his camps quickly. The next dragon is gonna spawn. The enemy's actually TPing for it. If you saw the TP on the map. So the enemies definitely think that this is their only win condition. They need to go for these dragons. Sion is actually not here, so I want to see how he plays this. Will he contest still? Or is he gonna look for a fight or an assassination? Bad ultimate from the Fiddlesticks. The Kha'Zix was way too far. And now he can go in immediately, one-shots the Fiddlesticks. He's playing this fight beautifully, even 4v5. Oh, that was a bad jump, but he's able to get away with his invisibility. Now, they're gonna lose the 4v5 fight. Hopefully, Sion will be at least getting an inhibitor in the bot side. Maybe he can still steal. Oh, he goes for the steal. Very well played. He finds the angle for the steal. Fiddlesticks is already gone because he assassinated him earlier, and he's able to steal. So they did lose the fight, which, yeah, not great, but they do get both objectives. They get the dragon, so they deny the dragon soul for the enemy team, and the split push Sion is able to get an inhibitor, which is going to be super useful to pressure the enemy team and open up the map for more assassinations. Because if the enemies are committing a champion to going bot and clearing those super minions, it's going to be really easy for Kha'Zix to assassinate them. So he's going to finish up his Edge of Night, and he'll continue building more armor pen. He's going for that build that I mentioned earlier in the video, the Serpent's Fang insane turbo broken build. Full magic, full armor pen, one shot, high risk build. Again, the enemies barely have any shields, right? It's only the Lulu shield, I think. which is a very, very tiny shield compared to most other shields. Oh, he's not able to get the assassination. And he actually goes down. The exhaust completely destroyed him. Oh, and Vayne is going down too. They have no more damage sources. Like I said before, when those two champions are gone, it's 2 tanks and an enchanter. Bit of a mistake from him. Playing around the exhaust is really, really hard, but it's something you need to be able to do as an assassin player. And he did not play around the exhaust very well. The enemies are actually going for Baron now too. Yeah, and that should be free Baron because Nasus topside, you can't do anything. It's gonna be a very hard game to win, right? Oh, he's saying something to these teams. He's probably flaming them. But this is gonna be a very hard game to win. He actually goes for Ult Evolve on his 3rd ability, going for that max damage. What I usually prefer to do is get my second ability Evolve. It gives you less thimbleness, I guess. You can really just go invisible over the place, but the poke on your second ability and the kiting with your team definitely makes it worth it. However, he's going for a more selfish build, since he knows his team is not performing too well this game. His dual lane is inting, his mid lane is only split pushing, and his Nasus is AFK until the super late game. He's not gonna let Vayne take his jungle camps, he needs it for an item. He has 14,000 gold, he has 3,000 gold more than anyone else in the game, which is the enemy team's ADC, who he needs to assassinate this game. And his team is not doing great. Let's see if he wins this game. He's gonna keep clearing his jungle, he's gonna get the Grump, get the Skull Crab. Sion is setting up a play up there. Okay, Sion, set up your plays, I see you. Okay, Kha'Zix is looking for an assassination mid, but he has Crown, which is a great item against Kha'Zix, but the Crown is popped. Now he can look for an assassination on the Kha'Zix. The enemy team is grouping, he's sitting on a flanking position, right? He's playing an assassin, he's waiting on a flanking position, waiting for someone to misstep. Sivir actually drops the ulti. No one missteps, and without even isolation damage, he gets the one shot. Sivir is forced to go into the stasis, but it's too little too late. He gets the one shot on her too. And it's over. The damage is insane. What crazy good positioning from him. Crazy good positioning. Okay. He's gonna go for the Guardian Angel next, just in case he makes any mistakes. Okay. He's actually looking for the Jax in the side lane, who is perma-slowed by the Nasus. Oh yeah, the Jax will be going down. He's really tanky, and keep in mind, he went full flat armor pen build, so he doesn't really damage tanks. That's why in the beginning of the video I mentioned Shirley might be a better option if the enemies don't have a lot of healing, or they don't have a lot of shielding, or if they have tanks. Shirley becomes a better option because it gives you the percent armor pen, so he's able to destroy tanky champions like Jax. Jax obviously gets a bunch of armor from his ultimate. That's why he's able to withstand for so long. Now they're gonna be able to get the dragon, but obviously it doesn't really matter because it's a mountain dragon and it's not even 3rd dragon. Oh, the Fiddlesticks actually making a big mistake. Terrible ult from the Fiddlesticks. He's gonna focus the Kassadin first, but he jumps into stasis. His target selection is good and he's not going in. He's not being greedy. He's playing the smart. He gives up the dragon. I feel like they could have probably still fought that because of the terrible Fiddlesticks ult. However, the Lulu Sivir is such a strong combo in these team fights that he needs to be super careful of. He needs to be able to get these assassinations. But they just choose to give it. Again, it doesn't matter because it's not 3rd dragon. There's no dragon soul. And it's only a mountain dragon. So it's not gonna make a big impact on their stats, on their armor or magic resist. So it's not a big deal whatsoever. Okay. He just went invis throughout the entire team to get the Kassadin, and now he's gonna assassinate the Lulu as well, and Fiddlesticks is called out too. Terrible play from the enemy team. Like showing off his little jumping. He flashes in for the Sivir, who's forced into stasis, and she's gone as well. She just used her spell shield, and they should be able to win the game maybe? Jax is recalling to stop them. They don't have minions yet, but I think they can end on this wave. Very good assassinations. One misstep from the enemy team to get a little caught out, and he immediately abuses that to jump in, get those assassinations, and end the game. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I hope you learned something. If you want more videos like this, more solid breakdowns, and watching obviously the best players on the best champions, please let me know down in the comments. Leave a like if you enjoyed, and subscribe for more Wild Rift content.